Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Kinds of nasty things, G.I.
You like young boys?
You like young boys? Oh, you grody, you Yankee
like
G.I. Oh, you nasty G.I. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're live?
Oh, hey. Everybody, welcome back to Bullits Bourbon Podcast, episode 73, midweek. We're getting back in the swing of things, kind of, to a degree.
2025.
2025, we're off to the slowest start you could possibly be. Where are you going?
Making sure we're recording.
Oh, fuck it. I mean, so it's cold. It sucks. It's been cold as shit the last
here in
fucking month.
Pittsburgh, the Northeast.
God.
It's not getting about freezing by like one day.
Hey, at least we ain't living in hell like Los Angeles, burning up.
That is true.
I'll take the snow over fire.
Yo, that scene in Los Angeles, I guess it's Los Angeles County, which they kind of just like Allegheny County, right? Yeah. It's everything. All those multi-million-dollar homes just fucking gone. I mean,
it's every year at this time with the wildfires.
Yeah, but I don't think they've ever had it like they've had it this year, where it's hit that valley the way they said. But they were showing shots at like 110-mile-an-hour winds. You can't even fly a helo in there, do drops. It's hard to put fixed-wing aircraft in to do drops, and there's not enough assets. So that they were just like along the Pacific Coast Highway. I don't know what's so. Like, what could be more demoralizing than seeing the ocean and all of these like $10 to $15 million houses? They can't do anything. There's no water pressure, nothing. I'm like, dude, run a hose out to the ocean or something. I mean, it sounds like it'd be easy to do.
Let's just plug a hose to the ocean and let it out.
You know, there's a couple of people though, like, thank God for this insurance payout because I never could have sold it though.
So that's the crazy thing, is that a lot of these houses, from the ones that are like, $350 to $400 houses people have been living in for 20 or 30 years, to the 12 to 50
to $400 houses.
So a lot of these areas have a mix. They have middle income and then the really rich, houses. But they were talking about it all day today, that a lot of these houses do not have fire insurance because it's of where they live. It's like Florida. The hurricane insurance has gotten so stupid now that they're dropping people. So a lot of these people are not going to be covered by their insurance companies. So they're going to get screwed. I mean,
I've never lived anywhere you'd have fire insurance, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's
like PA. You got to have like mine insurance too. Like if your house is sitting on top of a mine.
Yeah,
I had one time I bought a house in PA. I couldn't close at first because I had to have mine subsidy insurance. So because of where it's sat though.
So it's just kind of it's screwy because like. They've been talking about the one community, Palisades or something like that, where they've built all these really nice homes, and they've had no water pressure to start, like going into it. And so they're popping fire hydrants, and there's no water pressure. It's just like a complete overbuilding without incorporating it into like, and you're building in a fire zone. Like, it's not like it's a surprise. Yeah, we want to drink. So getting back on track. It's cold. We want to go with the Scotch. And so this week we are going to showcase Talisker 10. And this is one that I don't think you guys have had. This is an Islay. So it's a peated. You know what that means?
You can go ahead and say you taste the peat.
But
look at him looking at us like, you asshole.
No,
He's like, I hate you guys.
What am I going to say right now? My brain was working. I wanted to say something smart.
My brain's never working.
He's thinking, he's like, are they setting me up for failure? I taste the peat. Oh, we got you, fucker. There ain't no peat in this.
Yeah, that'd be fucked up.
So this is a pretty easy bottle to find in PA, Ohio. Most states you can find the Talisker 10, and it's a good bottle. I think you guys are going to enjoy this because it strikes a medium between Lafroig and Ardbeg when it comes to the level of peat. Ooh, shit.
It's usually safe to say if you can find it in Pennsylvania, you can find it in most other states.
But God, why'd you move the glass, bruh? So
do those glasses work? Because you missed the glass completely.
I'm getting used to them still. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the glasses. Look at you with two Glens full of whiskey, dude. You're a bum. You couldn't just be like us.
It's called baller.
No, it's called bum. Bum.
All that's missing is the paper bag and the bottle.
You know,
you got the beard down now.
It's probably a bum because it's your whiskey, though. It's on your dime.
It's all right. I've been drinking your shit for the last week and a half.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Let's test it out.
Let's do it. All right. I'm taking you more on a peat journey here.
Oh, I can smell the peat.
Peat, it's a sweeter note. It's a
smokier peat. A smokier,
sweeter.
Yeah.
That's sweeter.
Okay. What do you pick up? What else do you pick up? What notes?
It's more like a car. What taste here?
Sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread.
There's a note on there I just cannot pick up.
Caramel, sea salt, and sourdough bread. That's what I get. Caramel, sea salt, sourdough bread.
I can get some sweeter. I can get maybe some caramel.
It's a sweeter peat.
I hate the psychology of this.
Maybe some fruit.
Because now you smell it.
Now I smell the sourdough. Like
I'm telling you, the sourdough jumped out. I'd never gotten
it. Sourdough. That's the note I'm picking up, which is crazy. So
one of the things I like about the Talisker is it's not an overwhelming nose peat. Like it's not like the iodine Band-Aid that you guys used to talk about. Mm-hmm. You don't really get that from this. It's a sweeter kind of draw to it. What do you get on the palate?
I get Scotch.
I get the peat. I get the sweet. I get the caramel. While we say it's not something that's overpowering with the peat, though, I think for somebody who's brand new to this, no, I think they're going to be, unless your palate likes it. I still think you have to walk into this one a little bit, though. But for us who's been drinking for a minute, though,
it's good.
The peat is very mild. The
peat's it's mild.
If you're used to drinking peat, it is a milder peat.
But if you have not drank peat, I think it might be a kick in the crotch.
But that's true. That's true for all the peats. If you haven't walked into it, so I mean, as far as peat, as far as the peat level goes,
it's mild.
Well,
it's a little higher on the mild scale to me of a peat, though.
I get on the palate, I still get that sourdough bread, but now on the palate, it's like a honey drizzled sourdough bread. Like somebody took the sourdough bread and they put like honey and butter.
Because you're not smart enough to come up with this shit.
He's just fat and hungry right now.
Yeah, boy.
He's thinking about the wings and now it's just everything food.
Yep.
Oh, maybe a sourdough sandwich.
I can get the honey, he says. I actually could pick
it's like a mix between the honey and the sourdough.
I could smell the honey now. He says it. I could equate this to the honey, though.
It's the psychology, man.
I know.
But the honey is I think the honey is actually very accurate.
Honey, caramel, vanilla. But the caramel, vanilla are not
surprising.
Sourdough,
I don't know. But the honey, I could absolutely get.
And I get raisins.
I don't get raisins.
You get raisins on it? I get raisins.
I get the honey.
Taste it again. I bet you get raisins. The finish is smooth. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It doesn't, how this is going to sound weird. It doesn't cringe the tongue. You know what I mean? Like get you to kind of like.
Smooth on the palate. Yeah. I think it's very smooth on the palate. There's a finish. I think the finish is definitely peat.
The finish is peat, but it's I get like a dry, like in the upper part of my throat. I don't know.
Almost like a wine.
Not a wine, but like a drier.
Yeah. I think it's
drier something.
I think you're.
I don't know if it's
your saliva dries up, but I think the smoke and the peat lingers. That's what the finish is peat smoke.
Yeah, I think it's the smoke that like really dries it up as the back end. Or
I will say
the finish.
The one thing I'm curious about, and I as I was looking at the bottle, kind of noticed this: the color on this is fairly dark, and I'm wondering if they add color to it because most of the Isleys are lighter
in color. Well, you figure it's smoke, so if the barrel.
A lot of places do add color to it.
Okay.
I don't know if they do or not. That'd be something I probably have to Google. It doesn't matter either way. I think it's very good.
I think the finish would actually be one of the most non-attractive parts to somebody who's not into Scotch or walking into Scotch.
But this one's enjoyable.
A peated. Well, I think for a peated, not Scotch, but a peated. I think the finish.
Yes, the finish. I don't like that dry that dryness from the smoke. And I like a smoked whiskey, smoked Scotch, but it feels almost like I'm parched.
But being parched?
Yeah.
If we took somebody new into this, though, I think they would say, "Hey, let me get some water. Let me get something else to cleanse my palate." Yeah, I think personally.
Yeah, but you guys, listen. I mean, 7 months ago, neither of you really cared for a lot of the Islay Scotches, the peaty Scotches. Now you're drinking it and enjoying them. Where does this one rank for you of your peats that you've had?
It's the bottom of them all.
Bottom?
For me, for my palate, it's just that finish. I'm not a big fan of this finish.
What about
I
you?
do have a bad memory, so I don't remember a lot of the Islays we've had.
Get your ass some Prevagen, I swear to God.
I mean, please do, but I really think on the nose, the palate, very good pour. I think the finish, though, especially if you're walking somebody into it, it definitely lingers on the palate. Like you said, your palate, it goes pretty dry, and the smoke and the peat lingers. So very good on the nose, the palate. The linger, maybe for really a Scotch peated drinker, much better. But for us, me and like Dan, the finish is a little bit.
Yeah, the finish is what kills it for me.
The finish is where I'd put it lower. I put the other two higher, but the finish
the initial notes on it is great, but it's just that finish that I don't.
But it is,
I don't care.
Yeah. You can smell it. You can smell it, but dude, it is a honey. It's a sweeter. It's a really good nose smell.
It's weird for me now because I either like to go no peat or a ton of peat. Like I find myself swinging.
No peat or a ton of peat. All you leave one other option out there, just a little bit of peat.
No, I want one of the two usually. This is in that middle gray zone where it's not overly peaty, which I think is attractive for some people, but it's not enough for it to be like, oh man, you know what? I'm in the mood for a peaty pour. I'm going to reach for this. No. And then if I'm not in a peaty pour, well, I might as well go with a Dalmore, a Balvenie, or a fucking Glenlivet or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where does it sit? It's good. It's an amazingly old distillery. Talisker was started in 1830 in Scotland. It's one of their oldest ones. It sits right on the sea. I mean, it's a good whiskey, and this isn't their flagship. This is their most available offering. I think if somebody was curious about getting into peat and they never had it before, this would be a good one for them to step into. I've had some of the other Taliskers that are really good, that are super citrusy and like great finish on them. So I know they have better ones. This is your kind of your intro. Like, here you go.
Do you think so? Sometimes I question as we get more into this, though. Sometimes I question is our palate. We
change.
We can handle more peat though. I'm like, is this really a good introduction? Like,
it is. Well,
I wouldn't introduce somebody to this if I was going to peat
because you're
Scotch.
so much more into peat, Jay. So for you, you're like, it's here. Dan and I are more like the finish dude. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'd introduce somebody quite to this one. Though.
I wouldn't 100%. I would not.
The nose, the taste is good, but I mean, even even on the palate though, it still has some peat.
Yeah. It's
not
just
bad.
it's the
it's not
finish.
Bad, if you would have given this to me like 7 months ago, I'd have been like, I don't know. But on the finish though, it's definitely, dude. I'm really dry.
So it's the finish for you guys is really what kills this one off.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind it. The finish reminds me of like a really dry wine. That's what I get from it.
Well, you're much more into the peat than we are, though. So we haven't got there, but so I would say,
buy or no buy.
I would not put this on my shelf. Just because I wouldn't drink it again.
I would buy. Honestly, I would buy this.
You buy everything.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, and I was talking with somebody today, and I said, man, my palate is just so. I like so much stuff though that there's not a lot. I was talking with Kevin Huff today from Liberty Pole, and we were talking Wilderness Trail, and I said there's not too many brands I am not a fan of. There's bottles and brands I'm not a fan of, but it's very rare that I steer away from something. I like almost everything. Occasionally there's a bottle I don't like, but most bottles I'm like, it's decent. I would drink it. It's pretty rare. Like you and I, in 2024, you and I poured out 2 pours. You remember what those 2 pours were?
Man, this is the longest fucking story ever. We might have fucking
all the way down the road, off to the left, and then hit a cow pasture, and fucking ran through Indiana.
No, but in 2024, what 2 pours did we pour out?
I don't remember. I mean, there've been a couple.
The $1 Ben, the $1 Ben from Cleveland. That was aged
for
1 minute.
Somebody gave us a Pappy Poor Man's Pour.
Oh, that was garbage.
We don't know if it was poured right, but we dumped it out. And the only other one we poured out came out of Cleveland. We'll just leave it at that, though.
Well, has anything ever really good come out of Cleveland?
But we've only poured out 2 pours. I mean, we've always.
So would you buy this or not? That was the question.
Yes, I already said yes.
So this was just a run-on sentence that never ended.
Never came to anything. Like, fucking.
I swear to God,
the sky's blue.
Dude, you guys are fucking.
I got a question.
I really hate
when you drive your truck, do you have lick marks on your window?
You're stupid. You know, you were the short bus.
I mean, it was a legitimate question.
Yeah,
all right, so
that story was long as fucking window. I was like, I was talking to a friend.
Half of our listeners shut it off. They're like, oh, fuck, we take a break. All right, so Talisker 10, guys, up to you. You're split on it. I like it. I think that if you're wanting to get into P to be a good pour, these guys disagree. It's a beauty of whiskey.
No, I didn't disagree. What's the price point, Jay?
80? This is going to change his mind.
80, about $80.
No, seriously.
I can look. Let me look it up.
If it's a shelfer bottle, you can buy it for $60-$70. Cool.
But my thing is, I'm not going to buy a bottle just to have it sit on my shelf.
90.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to spend $90.
No, it's about 70.
$70 for just to sit. You know what I mean?
But for that time when you want a Scotch pour, though, it's not a bad pour. I'm not.
It's not a bad pour, but you're not going to drink it.
So what you're saying is it's just not a great pour.
It's not like a Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirits where I'm going to drink it all the damn time.
Well, I'm going to have a little.
Like for that, I'll go buy a Delmore. You know what I mean?
True.
Something that I'm going to drink on a daily basis instead of I have another bottle to my 2,000 bottles sitting there. That
Nobody has 2,000 bottles in their collection.
Whatever.
People do, just not you. Because you have a weak collection.
Yeah. A lot more room for shelf space. Just saying.
Oh, Gauntlet's been thrown down, huh?
The hammer's been thrown down in collections.
The hammer's been thrown down when you're cleaning the dishes tonight. Anyways, so give it a shot. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment. If you disagree with these two idiots, I completely understand because they're never right. Don't disagree with me. I'm just saying. I can see you in like HD now, Dan. It's
not
it's
a
so
pretty
nice.
look, is it?
No.
So Dan's text message to us from Michigan today, though. How about that, though?
Michigan.
Tell it, Dan.
Michigan, what's up? What's up with you guys?
Fucking 3 days, no call, no show, and they can't fire you.
Yo, they got some. That's some crazy.
That's insane.
So the rumor is Michigan starting in February.
Starting in February,
you could do no show, no call to your employer for 3 days, no repercussions.
Correct.
Not sure how many times you could do it. Don't know if you could do it one time.
Couldn't you, in theory, do it consecutively?
Don't know.
And just never show up to work.
But let's talk about let's base off the fact of one time. Though one time, the fact that you could no show, no call your employer for 3 days. How do you all feel about that?
So
if I'm an employer, if I'm a small business employer, and you do that shit to me, fuck the law. I'm going to punch you in your fucking dick so hard Jesus is going to cry. So that's how I feel about it.
So here's my other thing, because we look at it like, okay, you're fucking the employee or employer.
Big time.
On the other end, on the safety, health, and wellness aspect, no call, no show. Now I'm kind of concerned. If I'm a good employer, why is my employee here?
Because he's a bum.
Well, yeah.
Because since COVID, the American worker has turned into a fucking lazy shitbag.
Yeah, I get that.
That's why.
But what about somebody who might OD?
Well,
he had
deuces.
He had 3 days. Or somebody in a car accident, somebody choked on their own vomit after drinking hair.
Deuce.
You know what I mean?
Nobody has ever choked in their own vomit.
I think you both are dumbasses, though. I think from a military aspect, we're always worried about our person, though.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
No. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, though.
Not anymore.
No, you're a piece of shit.
Half the people.
You're a piece of shit.
All right. Get to the point. Let him go.
Swear to God.
You're a piece of shit.
Okay. Are you gonna tell the story?
Exception to the norm is, though, too, yeah. Exception to the norm, yeah. You got in a car wreck and you're in the hospital for 3 days, though. But yeah, as a norm, no, that's a shitty thing. You just can't just no call, no show.
Yeah.
I got the sniffles
it's
and
ridiculous.
I no show, no call. I was in the hospital after a massive car wreck. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a very generic law. It seems like that's like,
do you think it stands or do you think it gets overturned? Somebody will challenge.
Today's age, I don't know.
I think it may get overturned. Just because if I'm trying to run a business, you got those cases. Hey, he was in a car accident. He was in the hospital in a coma. Yeah. Okay, I get that. But hey, this guy's a lazy piece of shit. He went on a bender and was like
Take care of that.
past that for 3 days.
There's
after
always
drinking
there's
the
always
Bullits and
exceptions to
bourbon.
the norm, but the norm, nah, motherfucker, you're calling out for 3 days, no call. You don't have a valid excuse. It sucks. Somebody passed away in your family. You could at least
Give me a
extend text
notice.
and give me a notice of like, hey, I'm sorry, I had a loss in the
I'm
family.
curious to see how this plays out because if I was a small business owner and they did that, I'd be like, I understand what the law is. I'm gonna fire your ass. For
Well,
something.
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. They're saying that if you do that, you'll be held accountable and can be sued by the employee.
Good for you,
Dan, no, stop. Dan, held accountable, not hold accountable.
Held. I don't give a
Man,
fuck
he
right
just
now.
called you out like that.
What is Michigan? Is Michigan a Democratic state right now?
Yeah, it's Gretchen Whitmire state.
I assumed it'd be-
yeah, I mean, they're
So speaking of Democratic states, you got New York with the congestion tax now.
I have never seen a state so willing, well, except for California because they're basically on fire all the time, to shoot themselves in the fucking foot as much as New York City.
Explain what it is, though, too. I mean, what you're talking about, though.
So the high traffic areas in New York City, I think it's like 52nd Street or something like that from another street. Once you hit that door and high traffic point, doesn't matter what you are, how many times you come in and out, you will pay, like it's a sedan, you pay like $9. So if you enter, exit, and then come back in, you're paying $18.
So it's like rolling on the turnpike, but you're on a city street.
Yes.
And a camera captures you and says, you now owe a high occupancy or a high traffic toll now
Oh, yeah.
for being here.
Yeah.
And so what does that do for Uber?
Taxis.
Lyft?
Oh, Uber,
all-
taxis, it's going to
Yeah.
hurt. It's going to hurt the bit. I
And the
understand.
consumer's going to pay for it.
The consumer's going to pay, and I understand they want more people to use public transit.
Oh, because that's safe in New York.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to get stabbed,
Set on fire, raped,
Pissed
beheaded,
on.
thrown out of a fucking
Shit
moving
thrown
subway.
on me.
I mean, listen, New York City. New York City is so fucking mismanaged.
Have you been there? Have you both?
I haven't been
Yeah.
there since I was a kid. I won't go. Listen, you've got a DA that's so fucking retarded that he prosecutes dumb shit but lets murderers go, right? They are so fucking dumb that it's an insult to the word dumb to label them that. It's a shit show.
I just don't understand how you can live in New York with all these rules,
And
all these
jacked
bullshit
up-
laws that they're
and
coming up.
all the money leaves.
Every other year, they're coming up with some bullshit law that's pushing people out of the city. I'm like,
Did you know that during the New Year's what is it, the Times Square when they do the New Year's ball drop? I didn't know this. Is kind of not off topic, but did you know that there's no pissers? Like there's no
yeah,
place
people
to take
just
a piss.
piss all over the ground.
What?
It's like New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
Like why?
Really? I haven't
Yeah.
looked that one up. No way.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no place to go
There's
take
no
a leak.
place to go- Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't
It's
survive.
just
dude.
like it's of like New
This
York
is a
Mardi
new
Gras.
business opportunity right now. We could rent stalls. In
No,
New York
they won't.
City.
They won't allow them.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
this
you
is
know,
such a backwards city. It's backwards in all the boroughs. You got Alexander, whatever her name, the socialist retard friggin' chick that she doesn't know. She doesn't understand the world. She knows how to make a drink. The bitch should have stuck to making drinks. Yet
Think we could get her over here to make us a drink or two?
not after the new. Not after
Not after this one.
Well, there
Yet-
she goes.
So I just don't understand the city. Like are you that dumb as people that you elect a dumb bitch to represent you that makes your life worse? At what point do you not wake the fuck up and understand that stupid is stupid everywhere? If they're stupid there, they're going to be stupid in D.C. If they're stupid in New York City and you elect them, they're going to be stupid when they're running it. Don't sit there and go, well, I don't know why this happens. It's pretty evident. Wake up, man. Like the subway, like the dude from the MTA for the subway thing in New York City. Oh, our subways are safe. Somebody should fucking throat punch this cat.
Hey,
Nobody gets set on fire.
Hey, we need
and
Luigi! Where's Luigi?
Where's Luigi?
I had a good time in New York when we went down for the military. They had a good time. Actually, Pours.
A lot of good gay bars.
Lots of gay bars in New York.
Pours down there were just as cheap as Pittsburgh, though. It was a good time. It's congested, but dude, it was a good time though. And New York, I get what you're saying though, but dude, there's a lot of good times down there, and
I can't carry a pistol. I can't carry when I'm in New York.
But
I can't. I can't constitutionally carry in one of the most crime-ridden cities in the world.
You made me think about about the Tesla.
Ah, Jesus. So yeah, the Tesla. Cyber Truck thing, and we're going to dance around this for some reasons, but some stuff has come out on this cat. It was shared on, number one, he sent this manifesto into a lot of podcasts.
Not ours.
Not ours.
I guess we're not big enough.
We're not.
Well, yeah.
But,
obviously.
Yeah. But what's funny is that one of the podcasts, and I'm not for the sake of not wanting to possibly get sued, has been spot on with all the things that this dude has said about the Iranians and some of the things that our government has done. It's sent a shockwave.
When you say this dude, you're talking about the dude that
blew himself up. Yeah,
correct. Okay.
Who was a special forces soldier, and some people are like, well, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but it could mean a lot depending on his access levels and what he's done. And a lot of the guests that were on this particular podcast were very knowledgeable people with very deep insight into the intelligence community and stuff going on, going toward like the drones. Remember the big drone thing that went all the way back. So there are connecting dots that a lot of people knew, maybe couldn't talk about. Stuff like Iranian missiles that had, weapon shipments that made into the U.S. that shouldn't have made into the U.S. Missing types of radioactive stuff. There are a lot of questions going on. This shouldn't be a surprise when you have open borders and you have a fucking commander-in-chief who basically, I don't think he's been awake for 8 months.
Are you done yet? Dan wants to talk. Shut the fuck up.
I swear
Dan?
to God, dude.
I was letting you go.
Go ahead.
But, one of the things I've seen that's very huge, when the Cybertruck blew up, it burned his body beyond recognition to where they couldn't identify him. But they were able to. Where do you keep your ID at, by the way? Your driver's license?
Well, in my wallet, but I keep my ID.
But you keep where do you keep your wallet usually?
I keep it in my back pocket, or I actually my little.
You got a purse, don't you? You got a purse.
You got a man purse.
You do.
My little
satchel.
thing, I put it right there in the center console.
Exactly. So his ID was in the vehicle, but somehow his ID and passport didn't burn up, but his body was unrecognizable.
They're durable.
Teeth.
And, I'm like,
bones.
Man.
They're durable.
That's crazy.
How pissed do you think the dealership is about the Cybertruck, though?
Oh yeah,
I'd be mad as fuck. God damn it!
But so you have that, and then he brought some other things to light because when we were talking about the drones earlier, there's a lot of speculations where these drones were coming from, X, Y, and Z. But he in the manifesto brought up a good point. I believe something said they were from China, being launched from the sea. And if that's so, it makes a lot of sense because what was it, 2 years ago when they had the Goodyear blimp from
the
China
was just fucking cruising over
the U.S. and we waited until it was over the seas instead of shooting it down in North and South Dakota, over the nuclear.
So the messed up thing about this is it's not like it takes a rocket scientist to figure out how to get past our sonar nets, right? You get near the coast of the U.S. and you come out of the water and you just launch a bunch of drones up in the air and you got one little Chinese dude who's like, and he's just having a ball flying around fucking freaking everybody out, right?
The Cybertruck is still getting emails from them about, hey, your Cybertruck is due for an inspection this week right now.
It's low on charge. Yeah.
But, I mean, seriously, again, our government has dropped the ball with the fucking drones. So if it is Chinese and you let them fucking fly around for like a month without doing shit,
dude, I tell you what,
it raises so many fucking questions.
I would not want to work for the FBI right now. The FBI has got to look like the dumbest bunch of dickweeds in the history of any professional law enforcement agency. You have the drone thing, and then in New Orleans, you send out that assistant special agent.
You're getting so far off the
No. I'm just talking about this is the agency that's supposed to domestically protect us. And they're a bunch of dickweeds because of what they've done in the last 8 years with politicizing the FBI. They send this broad out to go do a press conference after the New Orleans terrorist attack, and she is fucking clueless to the core. Clueless to the point they had to fly out somebody very respected from the FBI to come clean up her mess. The FBI has not shown a capability of doing their professional duties.
Hey, but they're crushing it with diversity and inclusion.
But dude, that Tesla.
I'm just saying, diversity.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
That Tesla vehicle right there. I'm not special forces, never been though. Some of my friends though too. I heard that dude left a message out there too. After what he had seen, the things he had done though to PTSD though, and that was part of what led up to that though too. And a lot of people don't understand what these guys go through, the shit they do in the real world when they go out there. To these
motherfucker, I didn't go blow shit up. I'm not blowing cyber trucks up. I may blow a normal truck up, but I wouldn't blow it. I mean, come on. No, I'm sorry.
I don't even want to bring up the conversations we had upstairs on air.
Listen. There is so much more to that attack, to that incident, if you don't want to call it an attack, than what the American public knows and what we know.
Yeah, I agree.
And what's sad is that
it sucks.
You've had a festering wound.
This dude gave a lot to his country, though.
I'm not gonna listen. Listen. A lot of people have come out that have known him and said he was a fucking dickbag. So I don't know where to fall on it.
Well, here's the other thing. Terrorist attacks, targets of opportunities, or something that's going to be very public in front of a hotel in Vegas.
The Trump Hotel.
The Trump Hotel, yeah. But I'm saying
you could have a lot of casualties there.
You could have a lot of casualties there, but the explosion, in his manifesto, he said he wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
So why blow up?
Why did he do it?
Why did he do it?
What is the motive?
What's the motive? It
unless it's a political statement or something.
I'm just saying, you ever seen the movie, the movie Manchurian Candidate?
Brings more questions than answers.
I'm just saying. Listen,
if he was trying to draw attention to what he's seen and all this shit that's going on in the world, I'm not sure.
But I still can't get over passport and his ID. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Right. That's what bothers me.
I would tell you what.
Teeth and bones were beyond.
There's a couple of podcasts that I will say you should tune into if you're curious. Sean Ryan's is one in particular where they dive into this at a level that we're not capable or willing to because of our professional lives of diving into. But there are a lot of theories out there with this guy. There are going to be a lot of things we do learn about the New Orleans attacker. That tragedy, and our heart goes out to the people in New Orleans and the victims. The bottom line is that we have been a revolving door of fuckery way too long.
Well, I'm waiting for after this. They both were stationed at Fort Hood, and a lot of crazy shit comes out.
Fort Bragg.
Oh, Fort Bragg.
Fort Liberty.
Yeah. Whatever. No. Fort Bragg. I'm calling it. It's Fort Bragg. I'm not going to play that woke game of bullshit.
Unfortunately, it's Fort Liberty now.
It's Fort Bragg.
It's Fort Bragg.
It's Fort Bragg.
It's
Fort Bragg. When I jumped out of a plane, it was Fort Bragg. It will forever be Fort Bragg.
Where's the Steelers play? Where's the Steelers play?
Where does Steelers play? What stadium? What stadium?
Heinz.
Wrong.
It's
Acrisure. So shut the fuck up. This motherfucker.
See, I knew that would work.
My boy.
Everybody else still calls it.
You're on talking timeout. Talking timeout.
You know what I mean?
But I'm not a Steelers fan. But I'm in the Army, so I know it's.
So let's have a spelling contest. You can go first.
Go.
Cat.
Show it to the crowd. What's the hair look like?
We'll talk about that in a moment. But listen, I want to kind of start to wrap this up on a funny note. Listen, I don't care where you stand politically, Democrat, Republican. We're past that. How funny is this shit with Trump right now? Trump is going off the fucking chain on cats, my man. Like he told Greenland, yeah, we're gonna buy you. Denmark said, no, you're not. He's like, yeah, we are, right? Like. There's some serious national security concerns about Greenland. Educate yourself, whatever. It's just funny as shit to me.
Well, the same thing with Canada.
Yeah,
Canada.
He's like Canada. Listen, you guys basically are dependent upon us for everything. If we cut you off, you die. So how about just be the 51st state? That way, you and Texas can argue about who's the biggest, right? I think a lot of Canadians would support this. I understand national pride, and Canadians are our closest ally and friends. They're brothers to us. But at some point, don't you look at it economically and go,
dude, do you think the price of maple syrup would come down?
Oh, fuck no, that shit's expensive. That's expensive.
I'm just saying because
But listen, how dope would it be to be able to drive across the border without having to stop at checkpoints?
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
And I mean, listen, Canada's beautiful, dude. They got some bomb ass stuff going on up there, and they just dumped that dickweed Trudeau. Like
Dickweed Trudeau.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau. This fucking.
You are amazing. You are very eloquent with your words.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm an orator.
Trudeau.
So
And everybody's a dickweed today.
Everybody's dickweed today.
Dickweed.
But so it didn't stop there. So he was like, Trump was just getting warmed up. You can just tell he was like, I'm on fire, right? He's like, we're going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. I mean, who says that shit? Like, we're going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Doesn't it have a great ring to it? Like, if you're Mexico, are you sitting there being like, fuck.
With all this shit, but especially him hanging out with Elon Musk now, do you think he's token up with Musk?
I think he's got to be.
You think he's blazing with Musk? Like,
but that, listen,
I saw something about Elon Musk buying the Dallas Cowboys today. Was that real?
Oh my God. Well, hey, they may win something finally.
Was that real or?
I don't think Jerry Jones will give
he's
up the Cowboys.
Anyway.
He'll die and not
he's
give it up.
But it'd be cool if he does. I'm just saying, so I know it's funny. We're cracking jokes about it. There are a lot of things that could happen. Like, he's going to push his policy through on the border, and this is just a way to kind of needle people. It's amazing. I've never seen a presidency since I've been an adult where so much has been done before a dude even takes office. It's crazy. The one thing that I think that people are not paying attention to is the Panama Canal. And he has straight up said, if we have to, we're going to take possession back. We built it. We maintained it. We safeguarded it. Our money went to fund it. We gave it to the Panamanians. We took it back once. Manuel Noriega, right? Just Cause. Was it Just Cause that we went in for?
I don't remember.
Whatever operation that was. And then we gave it back to them 3.5 weeks later. And now what people don't understand is that the Chinese effectively run it. And you cannot have a strategic point. You know that. We know this as military. That's such an important strategic stronghold. We cannot let an adversary. And if you don't think China is an adversary, you're a fucking idiot.
So
I
have a question. Since we're on the Chinese topic, do you think with Trump coming in office, we'll see more stuff going on in Africa for resources?
I think that Africa is going to be prioritized.
I think, especially with the influence China and North Korea, a lot of people count North Korea out when it comes to Africa. Do you think America will finally dig in and start doing more in Africa?
I think that the Dark Continent, as they would call it, for the lack of it
like the Horn of Africa?
No, I'm talking about Africa has been exploited for 300 years, right?
You know, a lot of America, though, I think a lot of people think of Africa as, I'm going to go see elephants, tigers, and bears. Oh, my. But they don't understand the military aspect of the Horn of Africa.
With the strategic resource importance.
All the shit we send to the Horn of Africa, the special forces and all the operators we send.
But it's not just that.
I'm not talking about the Horn. I'm talking about the resources.
It's the resources.
For the electronics.
Yeah.
I mean,
cobalt.
China has a monopoly on that over in Africa. And that's where it's all.
They've built military bases. I mean, this is the thing is that the Chinese creep has happened all the way. Remember, they wanted to buy Liazores in Portugal. And so, this is part of the Greenland issue. This is part of the Panama Canal issue. If you don't, we're going to fight a war with China at some point. It's inevitable because their doctrine straight up says they want to replace us as the world leader. So it's not going to happen. Free nations won't let a communist nation do that. We're even Russia understood that there's a breaking point, right? So, I think what Trump is doing is from the outside looking in, and I could be completely wrong, but I think he's saying, all right, we're going to come in, we're going to give that shocker out, right? We're going to come in there. Because if you give him that shocker good enough, what happens when you give him the shocker good enough? Boy, you take a pause, right? You're like, whoa, sweet God. Like, whoa, calm down a minute, right? So by securing these strategic strong points, Panama, Greenland, telling Mexico fucking knock it off or we're going to call it Gulf of America. Have a good day. What we're saying is that this idea of being isolationists, which doesn't ever work for America. It can work for other nations. It did work for other nations. For some. Didn't work for England, right? Because we got World War I and World War II out of it.
Jesus fucking
I'm dropping some knowledge on you. What he is saying is, while we want to take care of ourselves...
Into the History Channel here.
I'm sorry. While we want to take care of ourselves, we're not going to be bullied anymore on the national stage. It's not going to fucking happen. What did he tell the Middle East? Dude rolled in and said, don't release the hostages and see what happens. He might as well have been like, I double dog dare you. If you don't release the hostages, I double dog dare you. because he's like, I'm going to release hell upon you. So I don't know, man. It was wild to see this. Like he just spits it. Like, hey, fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out.
It's going to be interesting over the next 30 to 60 days, though. It's going to be very interesting. What changes come?
Do not go saving drowning people. You know what I'm talking about.
Crocodiles.
You see the crocodiles in Indonesia evolving?
This crocodile.
What?
Dude, this dude's in the water throwing a hand up. Looks like, hey, help me, help me. No.
Looks like they're drowning.
Yeah.
Alligators in Indonesia are tricking people to come save them because they're putting their hands up. They'll make it look like they're drowning, and people in Indonesia, there's actual video out there.
They want to save the crocodiles, and
they think it's a human being in the rivers or oceans or whatever, and people are fucking jumping in to save these people and getting torn up by crocodiles.
Like you can't. I don't even know where to go with this, dear Lord. They put their little croc arm up, like you can't tell that's a croc hand
from the distance. The videos we've seen. I mean, it looks like because they actually wave them around like this, man.
But I saw it. You could tell. So these are some dumbasses. They were trying to save the animal. They were animal conservationists.
If you jump in the water, you buy that bullshit. Listen, when you go into the ocean,
this is like unfortunately, like a Steve Irwin trying to save the animal.
Why you got to go there, man? Steve Irwin was good.
Love Steve Irwin.
Yeah, he didn't try to save it. He just got stung.
They look like.
Why are you trying?
They look like.
He got
from a distance. It looks like.
No, listen, that's gonna be like, it's T-Rex, like waving his arm.
Rewatch the video.
It's like goddamn alien hands and Dan.
Yeah.
Are you dumb?
Rewatch the video.
If you live in Indonesia, you don't jump in the water. It's just like if you're in South Africa, you don't jump into the ocean. You're going into somebody else's kitchen. That needs to be at the forefront of your mind. Like if I saw some little hands waving at me from there, I'd be like, you all right? Now, if the dude's like, yeah, bro, I need some help, that's not a croc. Until I hear help, need some help over here. And if the crocs evolve to where they can do that, then they deserve to roam the earth.
Dude said help. Dude asked for help.
Like these crocs are all getting together like, all right, new strategy, guys, new strategy. We're fucking around with this. Watch, listen, help.
So let's wrap this up.
Dear God almighty. I can't believe that can't be true. We're going to watch it.
Rewatch it. He's seen the video.
But they were little crocs. Dude, those like T-Rex hands hanging out of the water.
Listen, at that point, whoever jumps in the water, adios meals.
Adios meal.
Hey, that's natural selection right there. Yeah.
Attrition.
All right, so God, with this
appreciate what soon to come for the giveaways.
Yeah, giveaways are gonna be posted. We're gonna do that right after we finish wrapping on this, and then we're gonna announce our January and February. We're gonna combine that month, into one. Our giveaways for that. So
don't forget Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. We are going to be down at Southern Tier in Pittsburgh for the playoff game.
Pittsburgh away game.
Away game. So if you're a Pittsburgh listener, come down to Southern Tier, hang out with us, have some pours, enjoy the football game.
Drink a beer. Let's have a pour.
Drink a beer, have a pour. They got
some
good whiskey.
Should be doing giveaways again.
Yep, be doing some giveaways and rooting on the Steelers. We'll see where that takes us. Real quick, right now, predictions for the Steelers game and who you have going to the Super Bowl from the NFC and AFC. Go.
Don't fall NFL.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm giving you
So
all damn shit.
Let's do college football after this.
I'm going to say Baltimore wins by 3 for the Steeler game. I'm going to go Baltimore, Minnesota.
For the Super Bowl.
Just so we can't bypass it. Let's do college football real quick.
No,
we're on NFL. We'll get to college.
Relax.
Okay, you do it. Okay.
I'm still holding Detroit and the Bills for the Super Bowl. I have, believe it or not, I have the Steelers making it past the Ravens, only to lose the next week. It's going to be close.
College football.
We'll see. God,
well, you got to do your NFL.
I don't follow enough, dude.
All right. You know what? Your assignment this offseason is to start learning the NFL. This is ridiculous. This is like
Shut
talking.
Up and do
I swear I will put this Glen Karen in your ass.
College football, dude.
I'm going Penn State over Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm still rolling with Texas.
Ooh.
I'm still rolling with Texas.
I got Ohio State over Texas, and I got Penn State edging out Notre Dame, and then we'll make our next predictions after that.
No, I'm going Big Ten finals, I'm going Penn State over Notre Dame. I'm going Ohio State over Texas. And I'm going Ohio State all the way. But Ohio State usually chokes. But that's how I'm going, though. I'm going Ohio State all the way.
All right.
I'm going Big Ten championship.
All right, we're done. We're done listening to you. This is retarded.
Yeah.
So, all right. Till next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
You want to hit the off button, or you just sit there fucking playing ding dong?
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.